What is the most annoying scenario in the Viscose benchmarks? You might say air pure, maybe air angelic, but a lot of people might say smooth bottom invincible goated, and that is mainly for one reason: the overheads. Bro, how am I meant to track this? Before I explain that, what is a overhead? What exactly is so frustrating about this mechanic? An overhead is where the bot goes straight over your head, making it super hard to track, most of the time forcing you to reset your mouse to get back on target. This can be a tilt factor for many people, because seeing this happen feels like it kills your score and your pace entirely. Okay, easy fix. Why not just change the scenario entirely so I don't have to deal with this seemingly useless mechanic? Here's what some people don't take into account: how common this mechanic actually is. Look at this Farah, how she's moving over my head. What about this finals clip where the enemy's ziplining over Viscose here? Basically, if a game has a vertical movement ability, an overhead is almost always possible to perform. This is why I think training and knowing how to counter a movement like this should be a must. I'll show you how to be ready and know what to do to save your runs or possibly fight from this. Some basic tips on what you should be doing in general on smooth bottom invincible goated before I go into depth about how to counter overheads. I and many others hover around 27 to 38 centimeters. In my opinion, this sensitivity range gives the most control without having to consistently reset your mouse. I recommend keeping your arm at low tension and carry most of the heavy lifting of just tracking the bot, while your fingertips have more tension put into them for control. Onto the main issue, overheads. After an overhead, a reset of your mouse is typically needed, as it's basically impossible to track this without putting you in a super uncomfortable position or just running out of room. How to properly reset your mouse. Notice anything different about these two clips? If you don't, take a closer look about how we both reset our mouses on the overhead here. See how in my clip I have to perform a pretty explosive adjustment to get back on bot? I'm going to be referring to this as a rushed reset to make it easier to explain. With a rushed reset, I have to perform a hard adjustment to get back on target, causing me to accelerate then decelerate my mouse. This results in the choppy tracking you can see. The reason for this is that I'm trying to level out my speed and tension again. Because I perform a flick and lift up my mouse to reset it, bringing it to a full stop, it becomes harder for me to catch the bot smoothly. With Maddie's, he still has to perform a reset and adjustment here, but he fully resets his mouse without coming to a full stop, making it easier for him to maintain his speed and tension. I'm going to refer to this as a full reset. Although this may be slower, this makes it ultimately easier and a better way to get back in rhythm with the bot again. Performing a full reset makes his movement smoother and allows him to do a less aggressive adjustment to get back on target. Preemptive resets. A preemptive reset is used to counter resetting your mouse on bot strafes that typically force you to. In short, it's expecting the bot to do a pattern where it makes you reset your mouse, or just put you in an uncomfortable position. This allows you to be on top of bot strafes and almost always be in a comfortable position when farming score. It's a mechanic typically seen in raw smoothness, but it can also be applied and has been applied in scenarios like this before. You can see in this clip that Clover doesn't need to reset his mouse here, but does so anyways. The bot goes out to the right and he does a full reset, allowing him to track this left strafe for free. This is a great example of what a preemptive reset is, expecting the bot to do something, in this case a direction change. If done right, this technique can let you farm score effectively. Those who picked up on a subtle detail here, you may have heard me say he performs a full reset allowing him to track the bot, but might have been wondering, well, you said a rushed reset is where you pick up your mouse and reset it. Clover just picked up his mouse and reset it. How is this not considered a rushed reset? The difference is that he is performing a reset without the flick, and while also being very close to the bot, allowing him to not have to perform a hard adjustment just like a full reset would, enabling him to stay in the center of his pad ready for the bot's next strafe. You can also see in this other clip he performs a reset at the apex of the strafe, allowing him to almost always have his mouse close to the center of his pad. This mechanic can be hard to implement, but it offers a very stable way of farming score if done correctly. This can also act as a way to escape awkward positions that a scenario like this typically puts you in. Now that we've talked about 3 types of resets, I want to say it's important to value your resets. You don't need to reset your mouse because it's an uncomfortable position. The bot most likely always has an opportunity to put itself back in a position where it feels comfortable to track again. But in my opinion, taking resets because you are uncomfortable only hinders your score more. With time, you'll learn how to adapt to these uncomfortable positions while still farming score. You may be wondering, well, no matter what, I'm still going to lose score. Why not just reset my run and wait for perfect RNG? Although it does look like you're going to lose score from not being on target for a period of time. If you look at the info here, you'll lose score and then it will level itself out again. This scenario has very visibly bad RNG. However, it's not as punishing as I see some people make it out to be. If you go into this scenario knowing that a couple overheads won't kill your run entirely, I think most of you will see your scores improve. Lastly, I want to talk about farming score and fake overheads, but what is a fake overhead? A fake overhead is where the bot goes in a motion like it's going to do a standard overhead, but starts to decelerate as it comes towards you. This makes it super easy to farm score off, as it normally falls in a very easy to read descent, most likely following a diagonal line. Well, that's about it. There's not much left to talk about here. I hope my tips and information help you in any way. This is my first time doing something like this, so I'd appreciate any feedback and all support. I hope you have a good day or night.